I know Kung Fu. Hello YouTubers, my name is Frederick Lopez. You're in a new episode of Action Reaction, and today I'm going to be reviewing one of those rare films that comes around every once in a while. The type of film that just changes the rules for films. Those pinnacle, blockbuster films that just redefines everything you know about cinema. Films like The Wizard of Oz, Star Wars, and 1999's The Matrix. Today I'm going to be going over my review and thoughts of The Matrix from 1999 in anticipation for John Wick 2. Here we go. I'm going to go over my thoughts after going over the cast and plot summary. So, The Matrix is directed by the Wachowski brothers, Andy and Larry Wachowski, now Lana Wachowski, and produced by Joel Silver, and it stars Keanu Reeves as Neo, Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity, Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus, Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith, Joe Pantoliano as Cypher, Marcus Chong as Tank, Julian Arahanga as APOC, Matt Duran as Mouse, Belinda McClory as Switch, Anthony Ray Parker as Dozer, and Gloria Foster as the Oracle. What is The Matrix about? The Matrix takes place during the year of 1999. A man named Thomas Anderson, also known as Neo, lives an ordinary life. A software techie by day and a computer hacker by night. He sits alone at home by his monitor, waiting for a sign, a signal from what or whom he does not know. Until one night, a mysterious woman named Trinity seeks him out and introduces him to that faceless character he has been waiting for, Morpheus. Morpheus presents Neo with the truth about his world by shedding light on the dark secrets that have troubled him for so long. He discovers that all life on Earth may be nothing more than an elaborate facade created by a malevolent cyber intelligence. So yeah, that's pretty much what The Matrix is about. I won't go into more detail. For those who have seen it, you know how great this film is. For those who haven't, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's one of those films that's going to really make you think about everything in life and really just be a game changer. The technology still actually holds up pretty well today, and that's because there's a lot of martial arts and a lot of wire work and just real stunts. Very little CGI. And this invented bullet time. It's been spoofed in a lot of movies, but him dodging a bullet was so cool. They pretty much pit cameras all around and then captured it at the same time, and it goes 360 degrees around. Some great stuff, but the story is very, very intriguing. I really haven't seen a film like The Matrix. The only two films that are similar to this film is Dark City by Alex Proyas and Inception directed by Christopher Nolan. Those are the only two films that I've seen that are really very similar to The Matrix. But yeah, as an action movie, how does it rank? Has a good story, good protagonist, and yeah, the stunt work is amazing. Some of the most aggressive, furious fighting I have seen in any film, and there's a lot of gun action, just all around real action. And again, what makes a great action movie is a story, and it has a very intelligent story. Warner Brothers originally wasn't gonna greenlight this film. The Wachowski brothers wanted like $80 million for it, and Warner Brothers was like, I'll give you $10 million. And they're like, okay, so they pretty much filmed the first 10 minutes of the film with all the $10 million, showed it to Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers was so impressed that they're like, you know what, we're gonna basically fund the budget for the film and you can make The Matrix. And they had to prove themselves before this. The Wachowski brothers had this idea in the mid-90s. Joel Silver was going to produce, and before they were able to do this film, they basically had to prove themselves. So they wrote the script to Assassins with Sylvester Stallone and Antonio Banderas, which was directed by Richard Donner. So after that, they were able to move to The Matrix. And yeah, this is a fantastic film. Story-wise, it's a very strong story. The performances are great. Keanu Reeves, this is one of his best roles. This was a game changer not only for cinema, but for Keanu Reeves. His best role before this was probably in Speed, but he's very different, yet kind of the same, but it's more of a maturity from the Bill and Ted Keanu Reeves. This is like starting to be the Keanu Reeves we all know and love today. Matrix, before he was Constantine, before John Wick. And yeah, this is a very different role for him, and I can't imagine anybody else. Originally, Will Smith turned down the role of Neo. Johnny Depp, Brad Pitt were considered, but Keanu Reeves ended up being Neo in the end, and I'm glad he was. He's perfect. I can't imagine anybody else in the role. Lawrence Fishburne is fantastic as Morpheus. I really like the fighting and the way his look is with the sunglasses. It's just great stuff. Carrie-Anne Moss is Trinity, and she was also in Red Planet. And the other characters do a great job. Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith is he's machine-like. They're sentient beings, but his voice and the way he says, Mr. Anderson. Just great stuff. And then like with the phone call moment, they're just very menacing. It's like, what good would a phone call be if you can't speak? And that subway fight is just spectacular. One of the best fight scenes I've seen in cinema. And yeah, before I continue on, if I had to give this a score, I would give The Matrix a 5 out of 5 and an A+. The Matrix is just one of those rare films that just totally changes the game, and it's one of those rare occurrences that occurs every now and then. Just like, you know, those films that you see and they're just like, this is a great film. It's just original, it's great storytelling, characters you invest in, and it just wows you. It has that wow factor that just blows you away. Matrix is one of the best action movies and is a great way to close the 20th century in 1999. But yeah, they went through a lot of stunts. I mean, Carrie-Anne Moss like twisted her ankle and didn't tell anybody about it because she was afraid of getting recast, and they had to go through a lot of stuff. And the guy who did the choreography for this also did the choreography for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, directed by Ang Lee. And it's some crazy stuff. Keanu Reeves had to go through surgery over an accident he had, so he couldn't use his neck, so that's why you just saw him like do kicks or do crazy maneuvers until like the very end where he could use his arms. I really like the character of the Oracle, and I like all the supporting cast members. Tank has a lot of charisma. Cypher, yeah, damn you, Cypher. This film has some twists and turns in it that are very well done. And it's a gritty film. It has this type of feel, even though there's this larger-than-life actions with the fighting and jumping from buildings and just crazy stuff, even though it's a fictional world. It does feel very real, and it's very gritty, and I like that. It's all real, and it's better than some other action films, and even the sequels to some regard, with the minimal use of CGI, and it makes it better for that. And the soundtrack, oh my god. Rage Against the Machine's Wake Up. The soundtrack is great. Rocket's Dead. Clubbed to Death by Rob D. I mean, My Own Summer by Deftones. Like, just a whole bunch of stuff is just great. It has one of the best soundtracks. And I just love that Rage Against the Machine ending where you find out Neo can fly once he realizes he is the one to save them. I just love that ending. And yeah, this is just an all-around great film. I could probably talk more about it, but I just wanted to give my quick review. Again, a 5 out of 5 and an A+. If you haven't seen The Matrix, definitely check it out. Everything you hear about it is true, okay? And I feel like the first one is a little bit underrated now after the sequels. Everybody talks about 2 and 3, but they kind of forget how great the original was. So definitely check out the original Matrix. Check out the soundtrack, and yeah, if you've seen The Matrix, let me know what you think in the comments below. Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite scene, song, whatever? What's your favorite Matrix film out of the Matrix trilogy? Yeah, just stuff like that, and thank you for watching. This is my action reaction. It is just a perfect action film. What can I say about it? It's just one of those original movies that just blows you away, like I said earlier. And yeah, it's just an awesome movie. And I remember the bullet time scene being a little bit better when it first came out, but it still has aged pretty well for the time that has passed, considering, yeah, it came out in 1999. It's almost a 20-year film. But yeah, it's one of those rare films, and one of Keanu Reeves' best movies, one of the Wachowski brothers' best films. First Matrix is truly an original masterpiece, and one of the best action films I've ever seen, not only just ever, but like in the 20th century. So yeah, it's a film that redefined the roles in the way that Wizard of Oz, Star Wars, and other films before this have. Matrix is one of those rare gems. So yeah, that's it for today, and tune in next week in whichever review, John Wick Chapter 2.